physiotherapist and Pilates instructor at Midland Physiotherapy, and today we're going to be working through a full body mat Pilates program. So we're not going to use any equipment today. All you need is yourself and a mat, or at least a little bit of space to move. The main thing to consider when working out from home is that it's safe and it's comfortable, so you shouldn't be feeling any real pain. If it does get uncomfortable, feel free to take little breaks or just slow it down as you need. So let's get started. We're going to start our warm-up in standing with our feet hip-width apart, up nice and tall, and just starting to roll those shoulders back. Taking a few deep breaths as we do it, taking those shoulders up, back and around. You want to feel those shoulder blades coming together at the back. And reversing those circles, coming the other way, up, forward, and around, keeping that movement nice and smooth, just getting those shoulders moving. And then some shrugs, straight up and down this time with those shoulders. Bring the shoulders up to the ears and relaxing them down. You want to feel those muscles at the top of the shoulders tensing and relaxing as you drop them down. We're going to breathe in, breathe out as they come down. Inhale to lift, exhale lower. Just a couple more like that. And then relaxing both shoulders down, going into our roll downs. We're tucking the chin to the chest and curling down through the spine, making our way down one vertebrae at a time, relaxing the upper body. Deep breaths, making our way down. And just pausing at the bottom. If the legs are super tight, feel free to soften the knees, and we're gently going to loosen off the head and neck a little bit more with gentle nods up and down. Keep going with your deep breaths and gently shaking the head side to side. Just small, smooth movements. Letting that head come back to the center. Start rolling your way up through the spine now. Stacking up the vertebrae one at a time. Letting the head pop up last, then reaching both arms out wide. Inhale, reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, drop those arms down. Drop the chin to the chest. Curling down through the spine again. Nice and slow, deep breaths. Reaching down a little bit further, and this time we're bending both knees and straightening both knees. Stretching out the back of the legs a little bit more. Keep bending and straightening. Breathing in, breathing out. Good, just two more. Lengthen those legs and start rolling up through the spine again. Arms and head stay floppy. Bring that head up, reaching the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, bring them down. We're rolling down one more time. Nice and relaxed through the back. Down a little bit further again, and this time we're going to twist the spine, reaching over to one side, holding on at the shin or the ankle. Take a couple of breaths. And twisting over to the other side. Hold it there. Coming back to the center now. Relaxing the top of the body and rolling up through the spine. Starting at our pelvis, lower back, mid back, upper, and reaching up for the last time. Inhale. Exhale, bring those arms back down. We're going to step it out wider with the feet now. Turning one foot out to the side, we're going to take our hips with it, facing that leg. Keeping that front knee straight, we're going to slide our hands down the leg until you're feeling that stretch at the back of the thigh, holding that stretch here. Relaxing the top of the body. Now maintaining that leg stretch, we're going to take our front hand, open it up, reaching up to the ceiling. So we're opening up through the chest, looking up to the fingertips and holding here. Good, close that hand down. Slide back up the leg. We're going to point that foot forward, turn the other one out to the side, facing our hips that way, sliding down, keeping that knee straight, nice long leg. Hold that stretch. reaching up to the ceiling, twisting the spine, open the chest, hold it here. Close that hand back down, gently slide back up that leg, and stepping back to the middle. We're going to do a little bit of leg work in standing now. So we're going to take our feet just wider than hip width apart, turning the toes out slightly, and we're starting with our squats. So we're sitting the hips back like we're going to sit down onto a chair and coming all the way upright again. So just imagine that chair behind you, those hips go back to sit down, coming all the way up to straight. With these ones, we want to keep the weight through the heel of our foot, so you should be able to wiggle those toes around and move them fairly freely. And we're thinking about just keeping the knees on top of the toes. So we don't want the knees kind of dropping into the midline. Keep them nice and straight over the second and third toe. And we also don't want the knees traveling too far over the foot either. They should just land on top. So push up through the heels. We're squeezing the thighs and the glutes. That's where you want to feel it. We're just going for 5 more squats. We're going to do a couple of different rounds here. 3, 2, and 1. Staying in our squat position, we're going to come down low and just doing little pulses up and down here. Try to stay low if you can. If you need to make it a little bit lighter, all you have to do is come up a little bit higher and do it there. Keep pulsing, keeping the weight through the heels, going for 10 more little ones. Last 3, 2, 1, coming all the way upright for a little break there. 1 more round of our normal squats, sitting back down into our squat position. Find a position that's comfortable and just hold it there. Planting our weight through the heels, knees stay on top of the toes, and the top of the body should be relaxed. Keep holding here, keep breathing. Last 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Coming up, shake out those legs. And we're going to step wider now into our sumo squat position. So you want the toes turned out, and we're going to guide those knees nice and wide. We're going to do the same 3 rounds. Normal, so full range, pulses, and a hold. So working with our full range ones first. Squatting down and coming up. So just the same thing, working through a range that's comfortable. If you need to make it lighter, just stay up a little bit higher. Don't go as low. Keep pushing up through the heels. Keep those knees out nice and wide, opening through the hips. And feel free to go at your own pace here as well. Some people do like to go a little bit slower, which is sometimes a good thing. The muscles have a little bit more time to work, but do feel free to take little breaks as well if you need it. Just 5 more full range. Exhale to push up. 3, 2, 1, and coming straight back down into our little pulses here. Small ones up and down, keep those knees out wide. Keep breathing. 10 more pulses. Last 3, 2, 1, coming all the way up for a little break. And then last round, sitting back down into our sumo squat, finding that comfortable position here, and just holding it. Keep breathing. Try to stay low if you can. Almost there. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming up. Give those legs a little bit of a shake if you need to. We're going to go back out into your sumo squat position when you're ready, and we're going to add in some heel lifts. So same start position with those toes pointing out wide. We're going to sit down into our sumo, and we're going to do a single, double heel lift. So we're lifting one heel up off the mat, lower it down. The other, lower, both lift together and push back up to straight. Coming down for a single, double heel lift, pushing back up. We're just going to keep it going here. If you can coordinate it, try to lift with the opposite heel first each time. Single, double. Try Again, make sure those ankles are moving nice and smooth, not rolling out at all. Okay, we've just got 3 more to go. Last 2. And last one, single, single, double, coming all the way up. Shake out the legs. We're going to turn side onto our mat now for some lunges. So just make sure you've got a little bit of room behind you. Again, we're going through a few rounds. We're going to work all on one side first and then match it all on the other side. We're going to start with our back lunges. So starting up nice and tall, feet hip width apart. We're going to step back onto the toe, lunge down and step back together. Back into the lunge and forward. Just staying on the same side. A little bit more challenging than our squats. So try to keep it nice and smooth, nice and steady. Keeping the hips level here. And again, the knee over the toe. Good job, guys. And again, just small ones if you need to. Five more here. Three, 2, and 1. We're going to add in a high knee with them next. So I'll give you 2 options. First option is a little bit lighter. We can add in a step in the middle just to give a little bit more balance. So we do a back lunge, step together, drive that knee up. Step, lunge, step, high knee. If that feels comfortable for you, you can go straight from the back lunge to the high knee. Lunge, high knee. And we're going to keep it going here. So remember, just adding in that step if you need to. Slow it down. You don't want to be wobbling too much. Keep it smooth. Just 3 more kicks. 2, and 1. We've got 2 around, staying on the same side. We're going to step that leg back again. Stepping back onto the toe. Feet should be hip width apart. And we're going to bend the front leg, coming down into a little lunge position. Tipping the trunk forward slightly. And then we're just lifting that back leg, lowering it down. Just lifting and lowering, leading up with that heel. So the main thing to consider with this one is that we're not arching from that lower back. Doesn't have to be a really big movement. Think about tucking the tail, just squeezing that glute to lift. Good job. You should be feeling that standing leg working here as well. Almost there. Then we've got 1 more round. Last 3 here. Good job. Take that leg straight over to the side now. And our final round on this side, we're just lifting out to the side, lowering back down. Same thing again. Keep your foot relaxed and lead out with the heel. The rest of the body should be staying nice and still. And with this one, it's the side glutes you want to be feeling working. Good job, keep it going, just a few more. Last 3, 2, 1. Good job, shake those legs, take a little break if you need it. You have to match those 4 rounds on the other side. So starting feet hip width apart, onto the other leg now with our back lunge. Lunging back, step forward. Just lunge and step it forward. So again, just checking in at the hips, make sure they stay square. And the knee over the toe. Think about pushing up through that front heel. Remember, take your time. Make sure it's comfortable. 5 more here. 3, 2, can do the back lunge, step, high knee, step and lunge. Otherwise, we go straight back into the lunge to the high knee. Lunge and lift. Keep it going. Keep it smooth and keep breathing. Exhale to push up. Almost there, guys. Keep working. Last 3, 2, and 1. Step that leg back now. Tipping forward with the trunk, slight bend in that front leg. Think about planting all of your weight through the front leg and we're lifting that back leg. Remember, it doesn't have to be a big movement, just little lifts, squeezing the glute. Good, keep it going, just a few more. 3, 2, 1, and we're swinging that leg straight over to the side for our final round. Lifting out to the side, lower it down. Just those little side kicks leading out with the heel. Keep the foot relaxed. You're going to be feeling those glutes. Good job. Almost there. Last 3 here. 2, 1. Shake out those legs. We're going to give them a bit of a stretch now. So for the first one, we're going to stretch out the quads. You can hold on to something, maybe grab a wall if you need a little bit of extra balance. Otherwise, it is a good challenge for the balance as well. We're going to stand on one leg, picking up that opposite foot. Think about tucking the tail here, flattening out that lower back, and just feeling that stretch through the front of the thigh. Good, just maintaining your balance there, holding that stretch, keep breathing. Breathing down to the belly to catch your breath. Good, release that leg there. Find your balance on the other side, picking up that foot. Tuck the tail and hold, keeping it nice and steady. Good job. Stretching out the sides now. We're going to step one foot in front of the other. Pop the hips over to the side and reach that arm up and over. So maintaining your weight through your back leg, you should find a nice C shape from the tip of your fingers all the way down that back leg. And you want to be feeling this stretch down the side of the hip and up the side of the trunk. Hold it here. Gently bring that arm back down. Other leg in front, pop the hips over to the side, reach the other arm up and over. Hold it there. Alright, our legs are nice and warm. We're going to make our way down onto the mat now and do a little bit more glute work. So we're going to start onto our sides. Bending the knees, we can come all the way down onto our bottom hand there. If you like, you can rest your head on a little pillow. Just making sure that we're starting with our feet, hips and shoulders in one line. Slightly tuck the tail so we've got a flat lower back and we're floating both feet up off the mat. So this is our start position here. Feel free to give yourself a little bit of hand support in front. To start with, we're just opening that top knee and closing it all the way down. So just starting with our clams here, opening up the hip. We're trying to work through full range, lifting that knee up nice and high without rolling back at the hip. So you should feel those glutes working with these exercises. If you're feeling it more right on the side of the hip, try to roll the pelvis forward and don't let it come back at all. We're going to go for 4 rounds on this side and match that on the other side. Take little breaks as you need. 3 more here. And into round 2, we're going to add in a kick with that one. We open up the top knee, kick that leg forward, bring the feet back together, drop the knee down. Open, kick, feet together, knees together. So we should have 4 separate movements. When you're kicking, focus on just hinging from the knee, swing that foot forward. Again, feeling those glutes. We've got 5 more with the kick. 3, 2, and 1. Close that knee down. We're going to do 2 rounds of pulses. First round is our kick pulses. We're opening up that top knee, keeping it nice and high, just kicking out to full extension and bending the knee, bring the feet back together. Just going like this, out and in. Keep it nice and steady. Only 5 more. 3, 2, and 1. Drop that knee down. And our final round is straight leg pulses. We're opening up that top knee, kicking out to straight, and we're going up and down from the hip, the whole leg moving up and down. Just little ones. Good, just 5 more. 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee, drop that leg down. Good job, guys. We're going to roll over onto the other side and match those 4 rounds again. So just checking your start position, coming down onto the bottom arm, straight line through the body, lifting those feet and starting off with our normal clams here. Try to work through full range, engaging those glutes, thinking about where you're feeling it. Nice and smooth. Just do 3 more. And round 2, adding in that kick again. So opening, kick out to straight, feet together, knees together. Make sure you're getting each component 4 separate movements. Feet together, knees together. Make sure that pelvis isn't rolling back at all. Last 3 with the kick. 2, 1. Drop that knee down. 2 more rounds, going into our pulse rounds next. Opening up, keep that thigh nice and still now, just kicking out, bring the feet back together. You can relax your foot, keep it floppy, just hinging at the knee. Don't let that knee drop down. 5 more. 3, 2, 1. Drop that knee. And we've just got 1 more round on this side, our straight leg pulses, opening up that knee, keeping the thigh and the trunk nice and still, lengthen out that leg, and we're pulsing from the hip up and down. Good, just last 3, 2, 1, bend the knee, drop it down. We're almost there for our glutes, we've got a little bit more work to do. We're rolling over now, coming onto our forearms. Elbows underneath the shoulders, you can bring your hands together on the mat. Check that the knees are directly underneath the hips. We want to start with our chest lifted. Don't let the chest drop down, and a slight tuck of the tail so the lower back stays nice and flat. First round, we're going to extend the leg out onto the toes, and keeping the trunk really still, we're just lifting that leg up and down. Moving just from that hip joint. Think about that ball and socket joint moving. No movement of the pelvis or the lower back. So with this little series, we're doing 3 rounds on each side. Again, all 3 rounds on the one side, matching it on the other side. Let's just go for 3 more. 1. And the next round is a triangle shape. We're going to lift that leg and cross it down over to the other side, tap the mat, Lift back to the top, drop it straight down. Lift, lower and cross, lift and lower. Keeping it going here, again, just moving from the hip. Good, make sure you're hitting the top of the triangle, then coming down. Last 3, 2, 1. Good, and our final round, we're going to take that leg out to the side to start, and our opposite hand is coming out wide on the floor just to give us a little bit of extra support. We're lifting that leg, circling all the way up and over, and circling all the way back. So drawing a nice big semicircle, thinking about drawing a rainbow with that foot, tapping each side. Good, should be feeling the glutes working. 3 more here. 2. Last 1. Good job, bend that knee back down underneath the hip. Bring the hands back together in the mat and lengthening out the other leg. Going for 3 rounds. Make sure that lower back stays flat the whole time. First round, just lifting and lowering. Up and down here. Squeezing the glute. With these ones, you should feel the supportive leg working as well. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1, and into our triangle we lift, cross over, lift to the top and lower, lift, cross, up and down. Keep it going here. 5 more. 3, 2, 1, and our final round for glutes, starting with that leg wide, opposite hand giving us a bit more support, keeping the back flat, lift the chest, circle that leg up and over, tap the ground, circle it back. Big semicircles here. Using those glutes to do the movement. 5 more. Keep it smooth. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Drop that knee back down. And we're going to make our way onto our back to give those glutes a well-deserved stretch. So just having a lie back, we're going to take one foot and cross it over the opposite knee, reach through the gap and hug that leg into the chest. Keep that knee nice and wide. You should feel that glute stretching. And just keeping the shoulders and the neck relaxed here. Take a few deep breaths all the way down to the belly. If this stretch is a little bit too strong for you, you do have the option of keeping that foot down on the mat and just dropping the knee wide. Or if you want to deepen the stretch, we're going to lift the whole leg up and wrap around the knee. You can hold it there as well. Good, drop those back down. Swap sides, bring the other foot on top of the knee, reach through the gap. Hug it in, relax those shoulders, just hold it here. Good job, relax it down. And moving on to some lower ab work, we're going to start with our feet and knees hip width apart and our tail slightly tucked, so we're flattening out that lower back, keeping it relatively flat against the mat there. We're going to have our fingertips just on the inside of our hip bones and we're going to feel for that muscle activation there. With all of these exercises, exercises. Make sure you're not feeling any pain in the lower back. If you do, just take breaks, reduce your range of movement, or even sometimes having a little cushion underneath the hips can help to keep that posterior tilt of the pelvis. So we're going to start with that slight tuck. Hands resting there. We're going to lift one leg up to tabletop position. So finding that 90 degrees at the knee and at the hip. Then lifting the second leg up with it. Lower the first leg down, lower the second leg down, and then starting with the opposite leg. Lift, lift, lower, lower. Starting with the inhale, exhale, lift the second leg. Inhale, lower, exhale. Breathing in, out, in, and out. Keep alternating legs, keep breathing. And focus on keeping this center nice and still. No movement through the pelvis. Just moving the legs. Just 3 more here. Engaging those lower abs. 2. And 1. Lowering both feet back down. Keeping the feet planted on the mat, we're going to take our hands behind our hip. Resting them there gently with the elbows out nice and wide. And we're going into our chest lift. So we're just lifting the head and chest up off the mat. A little hold at the top and lowering it back down. We exhale as we lift. Inhale to hold. Exhale to lower back down. So it's just a little crunch. As we come up, think about drawing those ribs down to the hips. So again, it's those deep abdominals that are working. Make sure that neck stays comfortable. So we want to keep the neck as relaxed as possible, keeping a little bit of space between the chin and the chest. 5 more, keeping it nice and steady, squeezing those abs. 3, 2, and last one. Relax that head all the way down to the mat. We're going to combine the last 2 exercises together now. So we're going to do a chest lift with the 1+1 of the legs. So we're starting with the chest lift up, then float one leg to tabletop and the other. Lower, lower, release the head down. Start with the exhale. Inhale, exhale, lift, inhale, lower, exhale, inhale to release, and breathing out to start again. Just think about having 1 breath for each movement. And again, feeling those abs do the work. If you feel like the neck is starting to get tense, then you can do the exercises separately. So do the chest lift first, relax the head down, and do the 1+1 separately. Just 3 more here. Keep breathing. Good job, last one. Relax that head back down. Keeping the hands behind the head, we're going to work into our obliques. We're going to go for 3 rounds here, so just take little breaks as you need. First one, we're keeping the feet down and we're lifting and reaching over to one side. Lowering all the way down, so no holds with this one. It's just an exhale to lift and twist, inhale to release. Exhale, lift, inhale, release. Going side to side, alternating. Breathing out, breathing in. Keeping those legs and pelvis nice and still. And again, thinking about drawing those ribs down, but now one side of the ribs are drawing down and across to the opposite hip. Keep it going, keep breathing. Just 1 more each side. Relaxing that head back down. Take a breath at the bottom. For round 2, we're going to float both legs up to tabletop position, and we're going to keep them there there. Just make sure those knees are staying on top of the hips. Don't let them get too far away from you. Hold them there. And we're doing the same thing. A oblique lift up and over. Elbow to opposite knee, relaxing down. And over to the other side. Breathing out, come up and over. Breathing in to release. Keep alternating. Try to keep those elbows wide. Going for 3 more each side. Should be feeling those abs working here. One more side to side. And relaxing the head down, keeping the legs in tabletop position. We're going to make it a little bit harder for round 3, but if you want to, you can keep those legs in tabletop or even drop them back down to the mat to make it a little bit lighter. For the last round, if it's feeling okay, we're going to add in a leg extension. So we come up and over to the opposite knee, reaching out long with that leg, and drop it back down. Up and over to the other side, extend. Drop it back down. Exhale. Inhale, come back. Breathing out. Breathing in. With the legs, take it nice and low if you want to work those abs a little bit harder. If you want to make it lighter, we kick the leg up higher to the ceiling. So just choosing a position that you're comfortable with. 3 more each way. 2. And 1. Good job, relax the head, hug those knees into the chest. We're going to gently draw those knees in and out and relax the belly, breathing deeply. Gently making your way up into sitting now. We're going to come all the way up into our sit bones, keeping the knees bent. Upright through the back, and we're just placing the hands underneath the knees. Make sure both shoulders are relaxed, and this is your start position here. We're going to do a little bit more ab work, starting at the lower abs. We're going to tuck the tail to initiate movement and start curling down through the spine, sliding the hands down the back of the legs. A little hold here, engaging those abs, and then curl forward in that C shape and stack up tall at the end. Exhale, tuck the tail, roll back. Inhale, hold. Exhale, curl forward. Stack up straight. Inhale at the top. Breathing out. Inhale, hold. Exhale, curl forward. To make this one lighter, you can just do a little tuck and hold there. Just not going as far back. You can try to challenge yourself and drop yourself a little bit further back. Just make sure you're feeling the abs doing the work. Just 2 more. Taking our time, not going too fast. Last one. We're going to go for 2 more rounds in this position here. For the second round, we're going to bring both hands out in front, palms facing each other, elbows in a soft bend. Back is nice and upright again to start. We're going to start the same way, tucking, rolling back, but then in that position where we're holding, we're bringing both arms overhead, dropping the arms down and then curling forward. Going again, tuck and curl. Lift, lower the arms, roll forward, stacking up straight. Keep it going here. So we've got 4 movements here. We should have 4 breaths. Exhaling. Inhale, exhale, inhale, coming forward. Don't worry if you get caught up with the breathing, just make sure you're not holding your breath throughout. Let's go for 3 more here, and then we've got 1 more round to finish off the abs. 2, coming all the way forward, stacking up tall. For our last exercise here, we're going to work the obliques a little bit harder. Same start position, but we're just going to go 2 motions. So we're going to go back, twist, open up the chest, reach back with that hand, and coming forward. So going back, looking, following it with your eyes, and coming forward. So just an exhale to drop back, inhale to come forward. Breathing out, breathing in. Keep alternating sides. And again, we're using those abs to control the movement. Keep the neck and the shoulders relaxed. Good job, guys. Almost there. 3 more each way. 2. Keep breathing. 1 more each way. Stacking up tall at the end. Now we're just going to give the legs a little bit of a stretch. Just drop your hands back to where you feel comfortable, taking the feet to the edges of the mat, so a little bit wider, and we're just going to rock the knees side to side here. So with that last exercise, sometimes the hip flexors at the front here can kick in a little bit, so just take some time to relax them, relax the belly, take a few deep breaths. One more side to side. Feel free to hold it if you need to. And then we're going to make our way over onto our hands and knees on the mat. So in your full plank position, just make sure that both hands are directly underneath your shoulders, the knees are directly underneath the hips, and our back is nice and flat. So slightly tuck your tail, lift the chest, and we want a long back of the neck as well. We're starting with our fingertips pointing up, and we're just going to bend the elbows here and straighten those arms. Keeping the elbows nice and close to the body, think about lowering the forearms down to the mat and then pushing back up through the palm of the hand. So just starting to warm up the triceps here. You should feel it down the back of the arm. We're going to inhale to lower the chest and exhale to push up. Try to keep that back nice and flat, and mainly just hinging at the elbows. Just 3 more here. Last one. And then in our 4-point position, we're going to just place our fingertips pointing inwards and our elbows are a little bit wider. And we're going to do our push-up prep here. So this time, as we lower the chest, the elbows are going out wide, and then we push back up. Again, inhaling, lower the chest, exhale to push back up. So just keep it going here if you feel comfortable. If this even is a little bit too much for you, feel free to do half range and coming all the way back up. If it's too easy and you want to make that a little bit more challenging, take those knees further away, find a straight line from the knees to the shoulders, and then we're lowering here. Whole body lowers down, inhale, exhale to press it back up. We're going to keep it going. If you want to make it even more challenging, you can go all the way out into the toes and do a full push up here. Just make sure it is comfortable. We're feeling the chest doing the work. Last 3. 2. And 1. Good job. Bring those knees back underneath the hips. Fingertips pointing up again. And we're going into our opposite arm and leg extensions. So to start with, we're going to keep the hand and the foot in contact with the ground and just slide it out to straight. And then sliding back in. Going out with the other hand and foot, reaching out, coming back in. So the goal with this exercise is to keep the trunk as still as possible. And we're only moving from the shoulder and from the hip. Now, if you're quite comfortable with this one, we're going to lengthen and reach out wider, picking up that hand and foot, drop it all the way down. Lengthen and reach, dropping it back down. Breathing out, breathing in. Engaging those lower abs here. It is a bit of a full body exercise, this one. You should feel your shoulders working, a little bit of lower abs and that glute to extend the leg. One more on each side. Now we're going to go out with the opposite hand and leg again, starting with the hand and the foot in contact with the ground. And we're staying out here, just lifting and lowering. Lift and lower. Doing little taps. Again, engaging those abs, keeping the trunk still. Keep breathing. 5 more on this side. 3, 2, 1, slide back in and out with the other side. Lift and lower. Make sure we're maintaining a bit of space between the shoulder and the ear, lifting from there. Last 3, 2, 1, slide back in. Taking a little break here, we're going to sit the hips back to the heels, stretch the hands out in front and resting our head all the way down. Hold it here, take a few breaths. And pushing ourselves back up into our 4-point position. We're going to go out to plank now. Make sure that that chest is lifted, flat lower back. We're going to extend one leg out onto the toe. Hold it there, extend the second leg out. First leg drops back in, second leg. Then reach out with the other leg. Onto the toe, find your plank position, drop that knee back down. Let's just go for another 3 before we make it a little bit more challenging. Now, if your wrists are starting to hurt, you can come up onto your fist or even place a little towel underneath the hands. Dropping those knees back down. To make it a little bit more challenging, we're going to prop ourselves up onto the toes, lift the knees to start, and go out from here. Out, out, in, out, out, in. Keep alternating if you can. If you need to make it lighter, just drop those knees back down again. Good job. Find that plank position each time. Tuck the tail. Last 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Drop those knees. Relax the shoulders for a second. We're going to go out to plank, and for the next one, add in a knee tuck. So going into our mountain climbers next. So we're going to go out to plank first, onto the toes. Tuck the tail, find that straight line, and just bring one knee into the elbow, taking it back out. We're just going for 10. The other side, alternating legs, breathing out and in. Good job, 5 more. Keep it strong through the chest. Not too fast. 3, 2, and 1. Drop the knees. Good job, guys. We're almost done for the day. We're going to finish it off with one more exercise, just our forearm plank hold. So we're coming down onto the forearm now. Check that the elbows are underneath the shoulders. We're going to lengthen ourselves out onto the toes, drop the hips, find a straight line from the shoulders to the ankles, keeping the chest lifted, and we're going to hold it here, keep breathing. Make sure it's comfortable, you shouldn't feel it in your lower back. Feel the shoulders and the abs holding you there. Keep breathing. Holding for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop those knees. Nice work, guys. Stretch it out. Take those hips back, reach the arms forward. Rest the head all the way down. And we're going to walk both hands all the way over to one side of the mat. Drop the hips back. You should feel that stretching down one side of the body. Walking our hands all the way over to the other side of the mat now. Hold it there. Bring those hands back to the center and make your way into a sitting position. So I'm just going to sit cross-legged on the mat, but you can sit however is comfortable. If you want to come up into a kneeling position or even into standing to finish, that's fine. We're going to take one hand out to the side, dropping the ear down to the opposite shoulder. If you already feel a neck stretch here and that feels like it's enough, that's fine. Otherwise, we can deepen the stretch by adding gentle overpressure. Relax both shoulders and hold it here. And staying on this side, we're going to look down to that hip, tuck the chin and add gentle pressure here so that we're feeling that stretch at the back of the neck. Good, release the head there, bring the head back to the center and drop it over to the other side, gentle overpressure. Make sure there's no neck pain here, it should just be a gentle stretch. And just focus on your deep breaths. Looking down to the hip, tuck the chin. And gently bring the head back to the center. Nice work, guys. That concludes our session for the day. Thank you so much for joining me.